This is a video with the TRE exercises with different versions for people with multiple sclerosis with limitations. If you're not able to do all the exercises in the original version, we have here several alternatives for you so that you're able to do all the exercises. Maybe you will need some extra equipment when you do the alternative versions. For example, maybe you will need 2 chairs when you stand against a wall to support yourself. When you come down in lying, maybe you have to lie against a wall with some cushions, with some blankets, so that you find a level for your back which is okay for you. Or if you lie flat on the ground, maybe you need to lie on a mattress instead of a yoga mat. Also, maybe you need to support your head with a pillow. It can also be that you need a yoga rubber band or Pilates rubber band to support the knees in the positions where you have the knees apart. Please read the text in the beginning of the video. These are several warnings and things you have to watch out for when you have multiple sclerosis, when you do the exercises. If you have other diseases, if you have been in contact with a psychiatry, please contact your own medical doctor before doing the exercises. The TRE exercises activates a tremor or a shaking in the body, which is part of the human being's natural genetic equipment for our survival. We see these mechanisms in all animals, and this is part of regulating the level of tension in the muscle and in the fascia. What we also see in the TRE exercises is a spontaneous stretching of the body, which we call fascia stretch. Both regarding the tremors and the stretching, please notice how long feels good. When do I need a break? How long is it okay to do the exercise? When you feel it's enough, you just step out of the exercise, wait for the next exercise and continue. In the longer parts, you can take breaks and go into the exercise again. The most important concept in TRE is self-regulation, meaning getting in contact with how much feels good for me today. How long do I need to vibrate? How many breaks do I need? Please enjoy the exercises. We want to show the TRE exercises. The TRE exercises are 7 exercises, and this video is for people with multiple sclerosis with limitations and where it's not possible to do all the exercises in the original version. In the first exercise, we go with the weight on the outside of one foot and the inside of the other side. If you have problems with balance, then you can hold on to a chair next to you, and then you do the same exercise in this way. So this exercise doesn't have to do with training balance. It only has to do with the movement in the feet. So you go to one side and then to the other side. If it's not possible for you to stand for such a long time or not at all, then you can sit on the outside of a chair, and then you do exactly the same exercise, the outside of one foot and the inside of the other foot. Then you go to the other side and then to the other side and stay a little there, then to the other side, stay a little there, and then you can shake the legs a little bit. This was the first exercise. Second exercise. Again, we will start standing if it's possible for you to stand, or you just wait till we show the same exercise sitting. You have the whole weight on the front foot, and then you raise and lower the heel on the front foot. Breathe. The same to the other side, and maybe you do it 8-10 times. If this is difficult for you because of your balance, then you can again hold on to a chair, and again you stand on one leg, and on the standing leg you raise and lower the heel, and you hold on to the chair. And again, this is not about training balance. It only has to do with getting some movement into the heel. And breathe. And if this is difficult because of balance or muscle strength, then you take the chair again, sit down. And this exercise we can do with both feet at the same time in this version. So you raise the heels and lower the heels. And breathe. And then again, shake the legs and the feet. If you're not able to do it like this, you can just have the feet on the floor and shake them like that. This was exercise number 2. Exercise number 3. In the original version, you have the whole weight on the front foot. The back foot is just resting on the floor, and then you make a small stretch. So you bend a little bit in the front leg, and then you stretch. And the knee should not come more forward than the toes. Again, shake the leg. The same to the other side. Just let the head hang loose, relax in the neck. And breathe, and come up again. Shake the leg. If it's difficult for you to do this exercise because of balance or muscle strength, then again you can do it by taking a chair and lean towards the chair. And then again you have the whole weight on the front leg, and the back leg is just resting on the floor, and then you make a small bend in the front leg and a small stretch. 8 to 10 times, but it's not so important that it's exactly 8 to 10 times. The purpose is to make a small stress of the muscle and some stretching. Again, stretch, and then we do the same to the other side. Breathe. We work with a scale from 1 to 10. 1 is that you don't feel anything, that is not exhausting at all, and 10 is all too much. So when you reach 5, 6, 7, you stop the exercise. So really feel how much is okay for me. If it's difficult for you to do the exercise number 3, standing because of balance or muscle strength, then it's also possible in this exercise to do it sitting. Rest the feet on the floor, and then you just stretch the legs, and then you bend the knees again. So you stretch a little bit in the knees so the feet come forward, and then you bend the knees so that the feet come towards the body. Again, you do it 8 to 10 times. You won't have the same stretching in the back of the legs, but we will have some movement in the legs, which is totally okay. That was exercise number 3. Exercise number 4 in the original version. We stand the feet wide apart, the same weight in the whole of the feet, and then you lean forward, breathe 3 times, relax in the neck. Then we go to one foot, 3 breaths here. If you cannot reach the foot, you just grab onto the leg. Then to the other foot, 3 breaths there. Back to the middle, stretch the hands through the legs, 3 breaths here. Then come up again, the feet towards each other. If it's not possible for you to bend forward in this position because you get too dizzy or some of your sclerosis symptoms get worse, then you just hold on to a chair again. Again, with the feet wide apart, lean forward, hold up to the chair, 3 breaths here. Then you take the chair to one foot and lean in this direction, and then you will probably feel the stretching in the opposite leg, on the inside of the leg. Then you take the chair to the other leg, and again feel the stretching of the inside of the leg on the other leg. Then you take the chair to the middle and take 3 breaths here. Then you get back to the middle with the feet and just stand and feel how it feels in the body now. If it's difficult for you to do it in this version also, then you can also do the exercise sitting. So you sit on the outside of the chair and in a comfortable position, and then you take the feet apart, lean a little bit forward. You have the elbows on the knees, and then you take 3 breaths here. Then you go with the arms to one knee, and you will feel the stretching on the inside of the leg on the other leg. Take 3 breaths here. Then you go to the other leg, 3 breaths here. Then you go to the middle, lean a little forward, only as much as feel okay. Watch out for your balance. And then you take 3 breaths here. Take the legs of the feet a little towards each other. Maybe shake the legs a little bit. This was exercise number 4. Exercise number 5. In the original version, we will go into a bow, the feet hip distance apart, the knees bent, the hips forward, and the neck is not totally bended backwards or forward. 3 breaths here. We stay in the bow and turn from the hips towards one side. You can also turn the head, and you can always also look backwards. 3 breaths here. The same to the other side. 3 breaths. The turning is from the hips, but the rest of the body can also turn. Then back to the middle, 3 breaths. Remember to bend the knees and breathe. Slowly get out of the position. We can show this exercise in an alternative version. So you take the chair and sit on the chair, on the outside of the chair. So we lean backwards. Maybe sit a little further in on the chair, and then you can lean backwards. 3 breaths here. You stay in the bow, and then you turn the body towards one side. You can also turn the arms, and in this way turn the body and feel a stretching towards this side. And breathe. The same to the other side. So you turn the body again, 3 breaths. Back to the middle. 3 breaths here. Lean backwards. Slowly get out of the position. Feel how it feels in the body. This was exercise number 5 in the alternative version. So we continue standing towards the wall, exercise number 6. You stand towards the wall. The feet quite far away from the wall. The heels are a little further away from the wall than the knees to protect the knees. If it's difficult for you to stand in this position because of balance or because of muscle strength, then you can use 2 chairs to lean onto. So you hold on to 2 chairs, both because of balance, but also to take some of the weight out of the legs. If it's difficult for you to stand in this exercise, then you will sit on a chair, and then you raise the heels, and then you try, if you can find a position with the heels where the legs start shaking. Maybe in the first times you do TRE, you cannot find this point where the knees or the legs are shaking. You can also go with the heels in slow motion, a little up and a little down, and see if you can find the shaking. But don't worry if you don't shake the first times, it will come. We will stand in this position for around 5 minutes, but maybe 3 minutes is enough for you, or maybe half a minute. The most important in this exercise is the scale we are working with, the scale from 1 to 10. So when you get to 5, 6, 7, then you go 10 centimeter upwards. So it's not about training muscle strength in the legs. It's about regulation. It's about self-regulation. So that means that you all the time you try to find a point where it feels okay, where it's not too exhausting, where it don't provoke too much stress. If you get emotional reaction, you also try to regulate that. So you feel, is it okay that some emotion comes? Or is it too much and then you just get out from the wall, or you stop the vibration in the standing or the sitting position? It's not everybody who shakes in this position. For some people it can take some months before they start shaking, but it still has a function. You get more grounded, and also it's a warming up exercise for the lying down positions. Please remember to take some breaks. So now please get out from the wall. Just get totally out from the wall and just stand a little bit and breathe. Some people need a break already after 10 seconds. For some people maybe after 1 or 2 minutes, and some people they don't even need a break. So please try to feel what your needs are. Breathe. And please notice if it's too hard, then you just go a little upward again. If it's too hard standing against the wall, you can come out with the hips and stand like this. Relax in the pelvis and see if it's possible to shake in this position. Bend a little bit more in the knees and breathe. In this position, the body can also make some stretches or go into some movement from one to the other side. And again, you regulate, feel if it's okay, how long you can stay in the position. And when you get to 5, 6, 7, you just go out of the position. Please lean towards the wall again. Also here, please notice if it provokes some sclerosis symptoms, and also regulate that, because it's not about trying to get a lot of reactions, shake a lot out. It has to do with regulation. Please get out of the position. Again, feel how it feels. The last part of exercise number 6 is a bent over position. Again, you have hip distance, the feet hip distance apart, bended knees, bend forward, and breathe. Relax in the neck so the head is hanging loose. Maybe you put the weight a little more forward. Many people will experience that the legs start shaking in this position. Please notice how long it feels okay for you. Maybe it's only 10 seconds, maybe half a minute, and then you just get out of the position. Slowly get up. If this position is too difficult for you because of balance or muscle strength or dizziness, then you just drop this last part of number 6. Now it's exercise number 7. This is in a lying position. If you have problems with lying straight on your back, then you can take some cushions or blankets. It's very important that you find a good position so that you really lie straight with the back and then you do all the exercises in this position, leaning towards a wall. If you don't have problems lying flat on the back, then you just lie flat on the back and do exactly the same. So you just lie flat on the back. Then you just lie and relax, maybe 1 minute. Maybe you need a blanket or a pillow under the neck. Just lie and relax. Feel that the body can surrender, let itself be carried by the floor, also relax in the head. And breathe. Then put the sole of the feet towards each other, close to the body, the knees apart, and then you raise the pelvis. Then you lay like this 1 minute. If you don't have the muscle strength to raise the pelvis, then you just activate the muscles that you would use to raise the pelvis. It's not so important that you raise the pelvis, it's more the activation of the muscles. So you just pretend or try to raise the pelvis, and in this way you activate the same muscles. Maybe you only lie in this position for 10 seconds. It's not about provoking any symptoms or stressing the body too much. Then you just lower the pelvis and breathe. In all the exercises you can use the scale from 1 to 10, and then you just lower the pelvis when you reach 5, 6, 7. Then you take the feet further away from the body. You have around 90 degree between the knees, and the knees fall apart, and just having the knees resting in this position. If the feet are sliding away from the body, then you can take some books or a yoga mat or something, so that the feet are fixed and not sliding further down. In this position you also lie around 1 minute. Then raise the knees 5 centimeters towards each other and hold them there. If you don't have the muscle strength to hold the knees there, then you can take a rubber band, Pilates rubber band, and hold them around the legs, and then take a good grip around the rubber band, and then you hold the knees in this position. If it's difficult for you to hold towards the rubber band, then you can take them a few times around the hands, and then you hold in the same way. breathe. Maybe you will feel that the legs start shaking, and this is totally natural. TRE is a self-regulation method, so it's not about having the body to shake as much as possible. It's about feeling how much feels okay for me, and then you can just take a break, and then you can go into it again. Then just stretch the legs, take a break. Then step into the position again. Maybe you need the rubber band again to be able to hold the knees in the position. Often the vibration starts in the knees and then it starts working up through the body. It's totally normal that in the first month it will only shake in the legs and maybe the pelvis. But for some people the shaking will start in the upper body. Especially if you hold the rubber band with the hands, then you stress the upper body a little more and the shaking can start there instead of the legs. The goal is not that the shaking should go through the whole body in the first session. If it does it and it feels okay, it's fine. But if you get overwhelmed or you find that it provokes too much or you have too many feelings being activated, then please take a break. Then you just stretch the legs and take a break. So notice if there are too many emotions, if it's too exhausting, or if it provokes some of your sclerosis symptoms, then you just take a break by stretching the legs. Then you can just go into the position again and activate the tremors again. Remember to breathe. Now you've been in the position for around 5 minutes, so please put the feet flat in the feet flat in the floor. Again, if it's difficult for you to hold the knees in this position, then you can put the rubber band around the knees. And in this way, hold the knees so that they don't fall apart. You can have the knees a little further apart so that the knees doesn't fall into each other. In this position we are around for 10 minutes. Maybe it's all too much for you, then you just regulate, taking more breaks. Maybe already after 10 seconds you need a break, or maybe after 1 or 2 minutes. So please feel how much is okay for me, how much can I integrate. We don't want to provoke the body, we don't want to activate too much. The most important is that you get more and more in contact with your self-regulation. How much feels good for me? Maybe you get a little sad, maybe you start laughing, maybe you get in a good mood. See how much is okay for me. It's the same with the emotions as with the physical reaction. We want to regulate. We want to see how much feels okay. And then when it's too much, we just take a break. So please put the sole of the feet on the floor again. Allow the shaking. If they are not activated, then you can make a slow motion movement with the knees against each other and apart. Really slow movement, the knees a little bit against each other and a little much apart. If you're not able to do that, then you can use the rubber band here also, so that the knees doesn't fall totally apart. Some people, they don't shake at all in the first 1, 2, 3 sessions, and that's totally normal. But doing the exercises over a longer period, it will be easier and easier for the body to go into the shaking. Also in this exercise, if the knees are sliding away from the body, then you can put some books in front of the feet or a yoga mat or something to fixate the knees. You can also have the feet towards a wall so that they don't slide. And breathe. Please remember that the most important thing in TRE is the self-regulation. To learn how much feels good for me, how much can I integrate today. It's not about letting go of all your stuff, all your tensions. And over time you will experience that the shaking moves upwards through the body. Maybe it gets into the shoulders, maybe the arms start moving, the hands make some position. You can also go with the knees totally out from the body in a Jesus position and allow that the movements or the shaking go into the arms. The head, the neck can also start moving like we see here. We both see like a snake movement up through the spine or some convulsive movements up through the body. We also see that the body can go into some stretching. We call this fascia stretching, where suddenly the head goes out to one side and stays there in a stretching. Maybe the knees go out to one side and stay there for a period. Please stretch the legs and take a break. Some people, they need a lot of breaks, so please notice how much is okay for me, how many breaks do I need. Some people need many breaks, especially in the beginning. Put the feet in the mattress again, and please notice then it can start shaking again. If it doesn't start, then again you can make this slow motion movement with the knees a little towards each other and a little apart, and then often this activates the tremors again. And breathe. And if some of your sclerosis symptoms gets activated or worsens, then please don't be afraid. Then just take a break. Maybe also you feel it a little strange to shake because one of your sclerosis symptoms is shaking. But then please notice this kind of shaking is something else. It has another function. For some people it will be too much to shake for 10 minutes. Maybe it's enough with 5 minutes or maybe 2 minutes. And over time you will train your ability to feel what is good for my body. Also how often you will do the TRE exercises. We recommend 3 times a week in the beginning, and maybe over time you can do it more often. Some people do it every day, but again, the regulation is the most important. Stretch the legs and take a blanket for the relaxation. Notice if you lay in a comfortable position, maybe you need a pillow for the head, and just let go on the body. Notice the mattress, the floor is carrying you. The body can just let go downwards and let itself be carried. Some people experience that the body shakes a little bit also in this position. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's too much for you, then you can roll over on one side and see if it stops in this position. Mostly it will stop in this position. You can also stay on the back and put a pillow or blanket under the knees, and then suddenly the shaking will also stop. You can also have some emotional reactions in the relaxation position. Also here notice, is it okay or is it too much? If it's too much, you can just go out of the relaxation and get up, walk a little around in the room. So also with the emotional reactions, it has to do with regulation. How much is okay for me today? And breathe. It's a really good idea to make this relaxation exercise after the TRE exercises, especially by multiple sclerosis, because The shaking mechanism activates the central nervous system. It brings it more in balance, but it's also an activation. So it's a good idea to really calm down afterwards. You have been lying there now for 5 minutes. If you need to lie there longer time, maybe 10-15 minutes, you just stay in the position. Or if you want to get up, you stretch the body, breathe a little bit more to activate some energy. This was the TRE exercises in several versions for people with limitations because of multiple sclerosis. And we want everybody to be able to do TRE, also if they have a chronic illness. For some people, it takes some weeks or months to activate the tremor mechanism.